Hello there. It's been a bit. Is all the audio working? I did some tests just before and I think it's working, but hello Benji. Good evening. Thanks for joining. On Discord maybe. Nice. Hello Astro Chris. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong, why Discord sometimes will just disconnect. It's very frustrating. I mean, it happens to me. It happens to a lot of people. If anybody knows why, I'm kind of curious. Good evening, Turf. Welcome. Thanks for joining. It's been a bit. Then again, I've been... The weather's been mostly lousy, but there have been some clear nights, but it was usually a little too tired or something. And there was a big storm at Starfront a couple of days ago, and they lost power for a few hours. And I just realized before the stream that my all-sky camera wasn't running. I think because when it powered on it. Anyway, I think I got it fixed, but we're about to find out. And I also realized while I was fiddling with my all-sky camera, or with my guide camera, I ended up messing up the focus on a new scope, a relatively new scope. If you've been on Discord, I don't know if I've had it on stream yet. If you've been on Discord, you may have seen it. I mean, you've probably seen it recently, but I just got it like less than 2 weeks ago, so probably not on stream. I was talking about it. Anyway, let me get to telescopes. I'm going to start with Starfront because it actually looks, the camera is working. So let me switch over here. Haven't streamed in a few days or a couple weeks, and I forgot how to do it. There we go. All right. So, not pointed at anything right now. It is, conditions look good. The moon doesn't rise for a while, so, yeah, looks great. It's too bad the Milky Way's already overhead, or already pretty high in the sky. It's like that was fast. Yes, thanks for the reminder. Yes, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. All right. Like I say, I haven't done this in a few days, and then I'm drawing a blank. I think mostly because I was having some variety of issues before I went on. So the telescope shouldn't need to be... One thing I will start with, because I've been doing this a lot recently, is the Nova. Not the Supernova, but the Nova. Just because I've been imaging it periodically. It's a simple test to make sure the Seestar at Starfront is actually aligned. And then I'll get the S30 here locally fired up as well. I mean, it's outside. I just need to start controlling it. All right. The SJ2000. I'll do 10 minutes. And so we'll get that going. And then let me see what's going on with this Seestar. There was an app release a week or two ago for the Seestar, and the main feature that it added was this 4K upscaling, but it has a lot of caveats. But the thought is, I guess, that it's in preparation for the S30 Pro, which supports 4K native, because it's got a different sensor. So this should work. I might just run it on my laptop here. Yeah, okay. That's down and out. So, the good thing is the version I have running here is the latest and greatest. Okay. Alright. Let's see how this is doing. Oh, hey. It actually went to the target. Or it's in the process. Is it even pointing at the right spot? Did I type in the right coordinates? 15, 8. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Why does it seem wrong? Anyway, let me get the other scope going. Or the, I should say the other version of ESC going against, oops, it helps if I type in the right keyboard. Very strange. Oh, hello, Star Pictures Miami. Welcome. Hello, Star Pictures Miami. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, so this is, sorry. This is pointing at nothing, so let's fix that. What would be a good first target? What is up right now? Actually, the whole Milky, almost the whole Milky Way is visible right now. Oh, yeah. Let's start with. I'm just going to start with the crescent until I think of something else for the local scope. The S30. Objects. Eight. Go. Yeah, the what do you call it? ESC isn't 100%, so I'm kind of doing a hybrid approach right now. Just so I'm not fumbling on stream, I'm controlling the S30 locally with the app and viewing it using ESC, and then the S50 at Starfront, I'm actually controlling it with ALP. Like, I am so confused. That doesn't seem right. Oh. I did wait. Let me check. Let me double check the coordinates I plugged in. Yeah. Yeah, something's off though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it too much. Let me check something here. You know what helps when you're going to a target with the app? Once you've selected it in the sky map, it helps if you actually hit go to, turns out. knew? All right. Oh, hey. Auto go to active. Holy moly. So what you're seeing here was something I added and I hadn't actually tested it yet, but it turns out it works. I haven't put this in the latest alpha build, but oh hey, it's even got a nice little animation. Nice. See, what do you call it? Seestar isn't the only one that can build. Sorry, I'm just checking something here. All right. So it is going to the target. All right, let me go look at the chat. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by that. This actually is working. Okay. On the app, it stopped slowing, so it should start showing up here. Maybe. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. I definitely need to test this some more, but so this will be going on the crescent. This, I'm actually not sure what it's pointing at. It doesn't seem right, because normally there's like this bright star, or a bright star would be down here. It's in equatorial mode, so it might be pointing at the wrong area. Not sure. Oh, hello, Mundus Finit. Mundus Finit, welcome. Thanks for joining. So I need to find another target for this Seestar. Oh, nice. It's already getting some of the crescent there after 3 frames. So, as I said, I got a new scope. So I am going to put these two side by side so we can keep an eye on both of them. There we go. And there. I'll shrink this all sky down. And actually what I should do is find another target for this left scope just to get it queued up. All right. So let's try. It is dark out there right now, so might as well take advantage of it. I wonder, should I? Yeah, let me see if there's something extremely south that I could try. All right. Let's see, I'm just looking for extreme south. But a lot of, like I was thinking Dragons of Ara, but that's kind of moved past the meridian, so it's starting to get lower. It's already low to begin with. But you know, let's see. Let me see how high this is. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to do the Iris Nebula on the left, just because that's a good dark sky target. Hello, Otto. Welcome. Good evening. Thanks for joining. Minus 40, no, it's still above the horizon. More minus 40 because I'm at 30 degrees latitude, and Starfront's at 31. Well, I'm at 29 and a half. So theoretically, I can see down to like minus 58, 50 something. I've imaged things that far south if they're right at the meridian. Let me see. Okay, it's still. Oh, did it? Is it done? Oh, it's done. It just finished. The one on the left. So we will go image. We'll kick off. I'm gonna start the Iris Nebula just because it's a good target right now since the at Starfront, since it's dark, the moon isn't up. Best without a light pollution filter, or without a narrowband filter, I guess. All right, so I've kicked that off. So now what I'm going to do is see what is south here. Oh, hey. Again, the active go-to. Nice. Yeah, I need to work on it some more because I also need to add the state for Dark Library. Actually, oh, it's already past the meridian. Great. Is that the meridian? Yeah. Okay, cool. So as I mentioned, I got another scope. Apologies if you knew about this, but I got a. I'd been wanting to get a fast Newtonian. I have a refractor. I have the other reflector. I have the Seestars. I have a reflector, but it's like a 6-inch. It's f12, so it's kind of slow. Takes a while. It's great for planetary, but for it's not great for quick exposures. Like you want aperture and speed. And I kind of months ago thought it would be kind of cool to have a RASA. But then I guess for a variety of reasons, many of them having to do with cost, I thought, well, maybe a fast Newtonian. And there's a new carbon star out that's it's a new 8-inch. Like they had a 6-inch one, very well reviewed. People love them. They came out. It's a higher quality. It's a bit lighter because it's got a carbon fiber tube instead of steel or aluminum like a lot of the other Newtonians. And anyway, problem was it was a lot more expensive. And then I was looking at like some very inexpensive ones. But then a lot of times you have to replace the focuser, and there's some other issues with them. And long story short, I was kind of leaning towards just getting a cheap one. But then the Skywatcher Quattro series, they have a variety of them, but they're kind of in between on price. And so this is what it looks like. It has, this is just like the guide scope, it's just telescope, Newtonian. And like it's the MSRP is $925. And Anyway, long story short, I still wasn't sure about it. I was still leaning towards these ones that were like $600 and some dollars. But I found a really good deal through B&H. And anyway, long story short, I was like, I'll go ahead and order it. And it showed up. And of course, it was followed by several rainy days, as is often the case when you buy a new scope. But then it cleared up, and I started kind of doing some tests with it on Discord. But tonight will be the first time I've actually run it on the stream, I think. Hello, Kemp CJC51. Welcome. Hello, how's it going? Yeah, it's going fine. How are you? So why is my ASC? Okay, so they both say 140. And they both say 0809. Yeah, they're both yeah, I mean, I think the problem is like one of them well, the problem is both of them were kind of the one that's running on Starfront is probably, I'm trying to think. Actually, the problem is both of them are newer builds, but they aren't builds, so that's why it's confused. It's one thing I want to smooth out before I get to the beta phase, but basically, I have a local build, not a local build. I have local code, and I'm running both are running a version of the local code. And I had a version running on a Raspberry Pi here, which was the same as the last alpha release I did, but the Pi seems to have had some issues, and I didn't want to fill around with it, so I just started it up here on my laptop. So, if you grab the alpha, you've got most everything except for a few little enhancements like that auto go to, which I literally have not tested in the wild once yet. You saw me test it for the first time on stream here. And if it continues to go well, I'll cut another build with that code in it. Oh, hello. Welcome back. So like I was saying, I got that Newtonian. So I have it running on a mini PC, and it's been kind of chugging along here. Here's my favorite, my go-to, so to speak, observing tool. But what I'm going to do here now, one downside of Newtonians is they have, so what's new? I have this Seestars, but I had been kind of debating. I wanted a scope with more aperture for home because it's tough imaging. It's tough imaging, doubly tough if I'm trying to do it for a live stream. It's one thing if I'm kicking off something for 5 hours and I go off and do something. But if I'm trying to like show something on a stream, it's kind of like watching paint dry sometimes. Although this crescent here on the right is turning out very well. I'm continuously impressed with the S30, even though it is a smaller aperture than the S50. So I wanted something with more aperture. I wanted something faster. I wanted something as fast as possible, like the lowest F number. So that kind of ruled out most refractors, because those are like F. They're not slow, but they're like F4, 5, 6, 7. And you can get a reducer that will make it faster. But really, reflectors, like the RAS is usually about the fastest you run across. but they're F2. They're more expensive, not like ridiculously expensive, but a bit more money than I wanted to spend. And they have some idiosyncrasies, not idiosyncrasies, like you have constraints on what kind of camera you have, filter wheels, and even filters, because the high speed, a lot of filters don't work well below F3. There's special filters that work below F3, but it would be a different filter from whatever filter you might already have. So I was basically, it all pointed towards a Newtonian. And because they have a lot of F4 Newtonians out there, and you can get a reducer. They're not necessarily inexpensive, but you can get a reducer that'll get it down to like F3. And long story short, there's like the really cheap QSO kind of rebranded scopes. You have the brand new Carbon Star, which was like $1,400. Looks like a beautiful scope, but more than I wanted to spend. And then in the middle, there was this Skywatcher Quattro, and the 8-inch one was like over $900. And so that was still a bit more than I wanted to spend. Anyway, found a deal from a reputable camera store, and so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on it. Had rain. I've had it on Discord a bit, but tonight's the first night on live stream. I tried. The problem was I tried with the Seestar. It was in the Milky Way, and it was very there was too much star field there. So I'm gonna try it again. I was hoping to do with the Newtonian, but I think that part of the Milky Way is already behind a house. But I think its peak brightness will be like in November. Whoa. Hello, Astro Chris. $5 and $20. Thank you. That's awesome. And I skipped over Dave. Hello, Dave. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in. But yeah, thank you so much, Chris, Astro Chris. I do really appreciate it. But yeah, so long story short, got the scope. I've tested it out a little bit on Discord 2 or 3 times, but tonight's the first night on stream, so I've got it. One of the downsides of a Newtonian is they suffer from coma. Then you can get a coma corrector, but you really see it on the off-axis guider. These massive. The good thing is, PhD 2 doesn't care. Well, Astro Chris asked, so I answered. All right, so let us go to. So I will go to. I'm gonna try M20, just because that. And I have some other filters I want to try with this on another night. I don't have a filter wheel, so it's all manual. All right. Yes, you did. Yeah. It's but yeah. So yeah, it's already there. It's right there. Now this isn't the exposure I'm going to shoot with, but I'll change that once it recenters. And like I say, one of the reasons I wanted it was like I see the results other people get with dark skies, and like my results won't be better than that, but it at least allows me to image things in a reasonable amount of time, especially for live streams. Okay. Let's see. It should be guiding. Guiding might not be that hot, but it was doing okay before. Oof. What is going on? Oops. PhD 2 sometimes just... Yeah, I needed, especially for my... I mean, that, again, that was... And I think it started with you, Turf. When you had your Rasa and Dark Skies, and I was just like, oh my gosh. Okay. So we'll start that, and hopefully this won't go crazy. I might have to recalibrate it here. I haven't spent as much time on this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop that. It's making it worse. The alien interstellar object. Yeah, definitely. Whoever dies with the most toys win. Yeah, just run video. Yeah, I mean that's true. I could just do something like that. Let me quickly, because I had calibrated it on the other side of the meridian. I didn't do both. Anyway, let me go back to this. So that's doing well. I need to clean off the disk on these. Well, on this one. This one's doing fine. All right, cool. And again, it's also... Oh yeah, oh my gosh. I have seen some videos on YouTube where... I don't know. I mean, sure, they might be the right, but like, you know, the orbit seems, it's a, yeah, wants it to be. Oh, good evening, good morning from yeah, the UAE. Welcome, Old Geezer Gazing. Thanks for joining. Yeah, as far as that interstellar comet, it's like, I mean, I saw some videos where it's like, yeah, like, you know, the odds of it kind of being on this trajectory, yeah, it's interesting, but then they're like, yeah, and what if it, like, you know, it's gonna cross Mars's orbit and get near Earth's orbit, but Earth isn't going to be there. But what if it, like, changes course when it's going around the, you know, around the sun to put it on a collision course? It's like, how would this happen? You know? Yeah, Rendezvous with Rama maybe, but I mean, it's, and then the other, I mean, I've seen like a couple of videos like that. Yeah, it turns around the sun. Wow. Maybe we'll find out that counter Earth is real too. No, but I mean, it was like, yeah, I don't know. Because it started off okay, and then some videos, and it was even from some YouTube channels that I didn't think they would kind of, I don't want to say go off the rails, but they seemed, I didn't expect it from them to get into hyperbolic speculation. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe they'll be the right ones, and we'll all be the. But yeah, anyway. sorry, I'm like, it was acceptable. Calibration was acceptable. Well, that's good that it was acceptable. All right, so I got it fair, you know, not like super closely polar aligned, but it wasn't too bad. So we will change this to and is there anything else I need to do? No, I'm just gonna start like looking for a new meat store. Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess there's a few different ways of thinking about it. Or I guess one thing I was thinking is like, okay, it's coming in relatively fast, but it would, I don't remember how what was it I figured out? It would have, like, it's at its current speed, it would take several thousand years to go 1 light year. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that's kind of been in space for a long time. Unless it came from a mothership, which is parked in the Oort cloud. Anyway, I'll stop. But yeah, so, okay, so I've got a minute of time on this. Oh, let me reset this and then do the auto stretch. Whoa. Okay, it's a little noisy. Let me make sure I have the right settings on here. Okay, it's gonna dither. I've got stacking. Wonder why I have so much light there. One thing I did notice when I was testing it out is I had the camera rotated in such a way that the off-axis guider prism was causing an artifact in the corner, and I didn't realize it. Like, I thought it was just something else, but turns out it was the off-axis guider. Oops. Yeah, so one thing I've been very happy about it is how quickly, yeah, yeah. I've been the only downside with this particular filter I have is the blue nebulosity of the Trifid takes a while, or it just barely started coming in when I did a previous test. But yeah, I'm very happy with how quickly it images. I'm going to be imaging some other things because this M20 is kind of in the canyon between houses in the neighborhood where I can kind of see up through people's backyards. I mean, over people's backyards, fairly a narrow strip, fairly low. But the problem is objects are only in that area for a short period of time. Yeah, 3D prints. Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know. Could be the, what was it, the proto-molecule from the Expanse or something. I don't know. Just never know. We will find out. I mean, I guess what is it, Occam's razor explanation would be maybe we're seeing some of these interstellar comets because we're better at finding comets because of all the satellites and telescopes that are looking for them, and like digital imaging as opposed to like the old way of just using film or visual to find things. And so my suspicion is we'll find a lot more of them once we once the Vera Rubin scope starts really cranking out data, like ones that maybe are don't get as close to the sun. Maybe they don't come inside Jupiter's orbit, you know, but that are coming through the solar system all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if we start finding a lot more of them. But yeah, I mean that would be the fastest way to cover a galaxy. But yeah, then that gets into the whole Fermi paradox of why haven't we seen you know, aliens, you know, are they out there? Are they not out there? Maybe with time we'll find out. I mean, with time, if we find them, then the answer will be clear. But if we continue to not find them, then it just gets more and more curious. Like, why? You know, I think you might be right. Well, they do observe the southern sky, so some people may still have a chance in the northern sky, above the latitude, that declination, that Vera Rubin. Yeah. Well, Vera Rubin's in Chile, so I do. Yeah, we still have a chance. Yeah, but I agree. It's going to be basically it's game over almost. I mean, it's good. It's for the greater good, and it'll be amazing seeing all the data that comes out of it. I'm really looking forward to that. Actually, it's funny. Maybe because the last time I tried, the moon was up at the time, but I am seeing more of the blue nebulosity here, faster than I was expecting. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this, just because when I was testing it out on Discord, I was like jumping from target to target. I think what I'm gonna do, it's definitely starting, and I sometimes have a hard time telling because how it looks on stream, because sometimes on this monitor here that I'm looking at it'll look kind of okay, but when I sometimes have the stream playing back on my laptop, and I'm like, actually, it looks better on the stream than it does. Maybe this monitor just needs to be recalibrated or something. Well, that suggests it was calibrated to begin with. It needs to be calibrated, probably. Yeah. But yeah, there was what was the target I was going to image? I think I was going to go for the Ring Nebula, because I had imaged that previously, but I want to do it again and get a lot more time on it. Not the Ring, the Dumbbell Nebula. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I had the right settings on. Yeah, so as far as the coma goes, you can see the stars here are fairly round in the center, but off towards the edge, they start getting a little elongated, like little comets. And I don't know if this is a light leak or something. I need to look into that. But let me go back to the irises. Let me. It's one thing I need to fix. Sometimes it gets where I can't close that sidebar, so I end up having to I end up not being able to close it without resizing the window. No. Cosmic Ray, I didn't realize you were... I know you were having problems streaming. Well, Discord was being difficult. But here... Oops. What did I do here? Let me bring this up. There we go. You can see the Milky Way nicely in your all sky there. Is that the Tulip Nebula? Or is it the Unknown Nebula? The Unknown Tulip Nebula. There you go. And that's another thing I need to fix before I'm going to call it beta release. Is fix those kind of more glaring issues. Oops. There we go. All right. Iris isn't looking nice. Definitely has a lot of the kind of chroma noise, but some of that kind of averages out eventually. I'm going to let this go for a while. Probably also doesn't help that it's pretty warm in Texas. Let me bring this up, which just reminded me. Okay, the cooler is able to maintain the -10 Celsius on my cooled camera here, but it's using 61% power. The other day, when I was testing it out, it actually hit 100% power, which it wasn't actually able to get down to 14 degrees. Luckily, it hasn't been running that much. Target overlay. Oh, you're talking about the little showing what object you're looking at. I mean, part of me, it's using what the Seestar provides, and since that's a sharpless object, I don't know. Does it show anything? Because I know a lot of times it won't show up because the Seestar itself won't catalog. It's not something that the Seestar annotates. I think the problem is it's just not. Although it could be broken. Let me check mine. I think it might be, but this is an IC object or NGC object. It's an NGC. They're both NGC objects. So like the Messier catalog and the NGC catalog, I know are in the Seestar, but I know it has a problem with other objects, which right now I took the it does annotate it. I'll have to look at it then, because I know in some cases I was getting an error internally in the app, like what the Seestar was sending wasn't the same. I'll have to look at it. Yeah, because if the Seestar is annotating it, then I should be able to. I mean, I'm just consuming the data from the Seestar, so I don't know what's going on. I'll look. Thanks. It is still alpha. alpha software. But I'm hoping to get it to... I had actually put a self-imposed deadline of having beta released by this weekend. Might be able to do it. I think it might be clear here. Because really... I mean, the one positive thing... It's not positive for the channel or my ability to image, but it's been the cloudy weather has been positive from the point of view that I've spent a lot of those evenings where it was cloudy or raining, adding new functionality to ESC. I've been, fixing bugs. I fix them as best I can, but I do need to have clear nights every once in a while to fix things. Let me see. It actually claims it'll be clear tomorrow night and Saturday night here. If so, I'm going to stream both nights, and that'll be good because it'll give me time during the day Saturday to fix things and then test them. And so I might be able to do the beta release on Sunday then. We'll see. And at Starfront, looks kind of iffy for tomorrow night. And even iffier on Saturday night. But it'll be clear here, and that's enough for me to test out the new functionality in ESC. The features are not available. No, it should be irrespective. I was born above the Mason-Dixon line, so I do not discriminate based on the location relative to the Mason-Dixon line. Getting some nice detail in here from Starfront. Again, too bad about all the chroma noise, but some nice dark nebulosity there. What I need to do is check this. So this has been going for 15 minutes. I think I'm going to move on to another target. Yeah, because this is getting close to going behind a house anyway. And then it'll start complaining because it won't be able to track. And so I'm going to go to M27, the dumbbell nebula. And it's gonna have to do a meridian flip here, so... So, hello, really? You're falling asleep to this one? Hope if hopefully it's not because it's too, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I think their affiliate program is might be managed separately. Not boring. Okay, cool. I mean, not everybody's cup of tea, but just relaxing. Yeah. I mean, I should try that. Maybe I should try that. On nights I have a hard time falling asleep, I should play back my own live stream. Maybe I should do that. Might but does it work on my does the effect work on me? Yeah, I should try it. I'm kind of curious because I often have a hard time falling asleep. I actually started taking something for it. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, yeah, it's like, you know, I don't know. I keep thinking of something, trying to figure out some analogy of superheroes, but yeah, maybe it doesn't work on myself. Comedy tapes, it's not relaxing. Yeah, yeah, that would, yeah, I would be too annoyed. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so let's go to. And I'm gonna let this image for a while, at least until it gets close to the meridian, because it's gonna have to flip back to the other side of the meridian. We'll see how this goes. That's pretty bad. That would be yeah. When you pick up on like let me check something here, make sure telescope's not. I had meant to I have a some like, I don't want to call it a security camera, but one of those kind of a cheap one that I wasn't using, and so I hooked it up to, so it gives me more of a real-time view than the all-sky cameras do here locally. So at least I can see if the thing's about to do something bad, and then I can hit the emergency stop if necessary. I had to do that once, or a few times, but now I have it set up where I know where the cables end up. Oh, and the other thing is the guiding might not be completely perfect because it is very windy out there right now. Gust 15-20 miles per hour. I mean, it could be windier, but it's pretty windy. Okay, it was only a 1/4 degree off. That's pretty good, given that it just went quite a distance. And I'm still zoomed in, so let's see. I'm going to clear the stats just to see what the new stats are. Yeah, the coma looks really severe. I hate that one that does this. I clearly need to figure this out. Because there's a way to do the calibration on both sides of the meridian, and I'm always in a hurry and I don't do it, and or at least I think that's what it does, but I end up regretting not doing it, because then, so while it's figuring that out, I'm gonna put this back to auto, and I will switch back to the Seestars, since those yeah, things happen. Sasquatch. No, luckily not. Haven't. It is trash day, or tomorrow is the trash. They pick up the trash, and we always see raccoons right before. The wind's terrible in Texas City. It's pretty windy here. Like it claims 15 miles per hour, but the way the plants were thrashing around in the backyard looks like more. But yeah, so since they pick up the trash tomorrow, a lot of times I'll see raccoons out the night before. So we didn't have the trashes by the street, so I don't see any by my scope. But that would be funny. Luckily, nothing bigger than a raccoon. All right. How's the calibration? Okay. Oh, it dithered right there. Oh. And I guess it's imaging already. Whoa. Okay. That's 30 seconds. Not bad. Let me reset this. There we go. It's kind of noisy, but that'll clean up. Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, Big Bend is like, it is definitely a Bortle 1. Well, some areas of the park. No, most of the areas of the park I think are big Bortle 1. Yeah, planning, yeah. I'm gonna stop this stack here and come on. All right. Yeah, I forget which one. Not Perseids, is it? Okay, I'm gonna stop this and I'm gonna turn off linear gradient. Oh, Geminids? Yeah, that. Something like that. Has it already gotten a frame? No, it's about 2. Okay, so let's do that and that. Okay. I wasn't sure. Sometimes the linear gradient didn't hurt, didn't help. So let me zoom in a bit. It's grainy, but that's only 30 seconds. So, yeah, okay, Geminids. That's cool. Yeah, so that's zoom in a bit more. Again, it's pretty grainy, but it'll just making sure I have all the settings the way I want them. It'll rapidly. I don't. I was having a dark gradient before, and I rotated the camera and got rid of that. What I now wonder is if that's some kind of light leak. It's one thing I need to look into. Like if there's one around, like Dark Shades was saying, he ran into an issue with gradient around the, or not gradient, light leak around the filter drawer. So let's see. Oh, that's cool. Okay. SH2 171. I need to come up with a better way of dealing with I mean, Discord ends up flaking out too much. I don't know. When you're trying to stream. Let me go back and look at these. Okay, the crescent. So got 40 minutes on it. And then the iris is looking pretty good. Again, a lot of noise, but a lot of that'll clean up. There we go. So cosmic ray has SH2171. Let me check something here. I guess the moon has already risen there. Is that the bright light to the lower left on the all sky? Teddy bear and Cepheus. Huh. I need to check that one out. I need to add that to my list. Not for tonight, but just to check out. Oh. Dang it. Uh-oh. I just heard a chime. And yet at this moment it seems calm in the backyard, so it's not wind. But there was a guiding spike there. Why is it moving? Oh, that was a dither. That's why. Guess it's supposed to move. Cool. Wow. All right. Use the web version. Using the web version. Interesting. Yeah, usually I use the. Yeah, the color looks great. Yeah, it's. Let me see how long this is going to be before it goes to the meridian. Because basically, I want to get like a lot of time on this. Because there is, oops. Okay. I won't be able to do it for more than an hour. Yeah, about half an hour at most. But I might not even image it that long because I wanted to try to image the supernova. Not the nova, but the supernova, which is above the horizon now, so I could really switch to it at any point, but I'll give this a bit more time. Yeah, that was interesting. I saw some mention of it. It was basically, yeah, I guess, you know, there were questions if there was a companion, but it was actually within the scope. I mean, not within the scope, within the star. Like, it's within the outer atmosphere. There's a second star within the very outer reaches. Now, supergiants are very tenuous, apparently, towards the edge. Like, not nearly as dense as like the sun, but it's still kind of interesting. It was very interesting, especially given how much Betelgeuse has been studied. That's what we said. No, they I'm not I mean, I started with the Seestars. The Seestars are most reliable. I mean, the least fuss, so I'm not they're certainly not being abandoned. And actually, I was fiddling around with the AI kind of cleanup of this image on the right within the app, and it really brought out a lot of this red nebulosity here that's kind of near the crescent, but it's kind of hard to see. I mean, you can see it, but it's not as prominent, but the kind of in-app cleanup definitely made it pop more. And so I was kind of fiddling around with that. Partly also because I want to add a similar feature to ESC at some point. It'll probably be after version 1, but it's definitely something I have planned. I mean, I think I might be misremembering it, but I think they said it's that second star is since it's within the outer atmosphere, its time is limited. It's gonna, I don't know if they said tens of thousands of years, but at some point it's gonna spiral in and just kind of fall in. I mean, it'll collide, or not collide. It's already kind of in the atmosphere, so it'll just probably get. Well, I take it back. There is the. Yeah, it'll probably just start kind of getting pulled apart by the gravity of Betelgeuse and kind of dissipate and merged into Betelgeuse. Get rid of that OAG. I mean, this is literally, I think, only the 4th time I've used this scope, and I'm still kind of working through things. If some of those artifacts are the off-axis guider, I definitely need to do something about it. But it could be the light drawer. I mean, the filter drawer. But I mean, you know, it doesn't help that my skies look like this. You know, so yeah, you can see a couple stars in there. Impressive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the final configuration will be. Yeah, I need to test for light leaks. Yeah. I think that's probably one of the main things I need to do. Yeah. I mean, I do have. Yeah, I wouldn't do the rotator. Um, I mean, it would be nice to have a rotator, but that I'm probably gonna go the DIY route. But I do have a guide scope, and so if it is the off-axis guider, I will. That was going to be my plan B. I mean, it's a fairly substantial scope, and so um, the guide scope would be fine. And I actually had a guide scope on there. It wasn't hooked up to a camera, but I was kind of messing around with it. But that's my plan B. But first, I want to double check that it's not that's not some kind of light leak. And plus, sometime as I've been moving around, and I redid kind of all of the. So backstory: when I first got the Newtonian, I put my camera the one cooled camera I have. It has a filter drawer and an off-axis guider, and I put it on there, and I couldn't get focus, and so it was like one of the evenings. So like the first time I tried it out, so I ended up pulling off the what is going on here? Oh, good night, Mundus Finit. Oh, that might be interesting if it could trigger that. Why is it complaining? The guiding, it's complaining about the guiding, but the guiding, I mean, seems pretty tight. It's weird. Moon is blasting the sky. Yeah, that I saw that on your. Yeah, and if you have any kind of high clouds, that was the issue I had at Starfront. There were a couple of times where I was like, I could have gone live, but there were these high clouds and the moon. It was before the full moon. It ended up lighting up those clouds, and I'm just like, I'm not even going to bother. It was just so bad. But yeah, I might go the guide scope route. Oh, what I was saying is, in all the kind of redoing of the optical, I managed to find a set of rings and adapters. Actually, I had ordered a couple more, where I was able to get the camera back on the scope. I was able to get focus with the filter drawer and the OAG. But somewhere along the process, I might have bumped the OAG. It's got a prism, and the prism might be lower than it needs to be, so that might be part of the problem. Okay, why is this going off continuously? Is it just the severe coma? Oh, hello, Hein. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Yes, higher mass, shorter life. Yeah, but also maybe the physical shock of, depending on how quickly that extra mass descends into the, like, to the core of Betelgeuse, like it causes extra. Yeah, maybe it could hasten it beyond just the extra mass. I don't know. It is interesting, and it's interesting that that we found it at this point. Well, we as in humanity, not me. I had nothing to do with it. Yeah, I wanted to. What I'm hoping to do is get more of this kind of outer nebulosity from the dumbbell. It goes out pretty wide, but it's very faint, so that's why I was trying to image this a little bit more. Perseid meteor shower. Peak night tonight? That's cool. Just joined. Oh, the full image? Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure if this is like a light leak or something else, but I will probably look into it. Yeah. Yeah, by the Roche limit. Yeah, it was very cool that they detected that. Yeah, so this is the... Well, I was wondering if it was one of the things, if it's got a light leak, or maybe it's just the scope itself. Let me look at, not a light leak per se, but I'm gonna have to look at that one evening. Because the way it's pointing, I wonder if it's stray light coming in. I mean, there's several places where light could be coming in, so I need to figure that out. But yeah, I did actually have a dark area, and when I had been testing it out on Discord, and when I was getting everything polar aligned before the stream tonight, I looked at it and I was like, I wonder if that's the prism. And I rotated the camera a little bit, and the dark area like rotated and kind of went out of field, and I'm like, great, it's the light leak. Okay, cool. So this, I am doing kind of the, what do you call it, the base gain on the 585 camera, which is 210. I think I actually have it at 212. It might be 212, 210. Anyway, that's where I have it at. And I also have, I'm doing 32 second exposures, I think. Yeah, I'm doing 32. One thing I did with this camera on the refractor, which is where I've typically been running this particular camera, my 75 millimeter refractor, in Sharp Cap, it has sensor calibration. You have to put, it does some measurements with it, the cap on, and it does different things with gain, and it kind of figures out optimal gain and offset for your sensor. But then you can, I guess, point it at the sky, and then it'll figure out the optimum exposure once you've got the sensor profile. But I haven't done that yet on this one. On the other scope, on the refractor, I think the optimal exposure was like 32 seconds. So I need to rerun it on this to see what it, because maybe it's longer, maybe it's a 60-second exposure, maybe it's shorter, I don't know. Duct tape everything, maybe. The rejection window, I don't think it's, it hasn't rejected anything, but it's set to, I have Sharp Cap set up where if it's monitoring PhD2, where if it's not monitoring, if it's not guiding, if PhD2 is not guiding at that moment, it'll stop using those exposures for the stack. So if it's dithering, it pauses, but also if the guiding goes crazy. So yeah, right here it says stacking pause to allow dithering to take place. But even if PhD2 just starts having issues, and I'm like, I know some of my other scopes, if it can't, like the F12 reflector, I'd get stacking errors because it couldn't match up enough stars in the frame. But so far this one, that hasn't been a problem. Which was my hope when I had been considering getting this kind of scope. The next big thing for it will be a coma corrector and or a coma corrector reducer. I'm not sure which I'm going to get first. The coma corrector fixing those kind of, I mean, the things you especially see on the off-axis guider where they all are rather severe coma. Amp glow. Does the 585 have amp glow? I didn't. Unfortunately, I don't always. I read things and then forget, or yeah, it's amp glow free. Okay, because I know a lot of the newer sensors tend to not have. One other thing I need to do that I haven't done yet is I did it on the other problem is I'm running a different mini PC, and with the old mini PC with this camera I took flat frames and I took dark frames. I haven't taken the dark frames yet on this one, so that's why you see some other artifacts here. Yeah, see, lost lock. Weird. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I need to do, and I will do it, but probably not today. No glow. Okay, cool. Is it windy? I don't see any wind. Nothing. Oh, yeah, big gust just now. That could do it. It also doesn't help that right now the scope is almost fully vertical. Because the good thing is it's high in the sky, M27, but the scope is also kind of, and that was another problem I had when I first got it. So I have the Juway 17, which theoretically could have carried this telescope and the camera without a counterweight. It was within spec. And I know I've seen stuff where they said you don't want to run it right at the edge, but I decided to give it a try, and it seemed fine. And then it was the first day I was testing it, and it was having some issues and with plate solving, even though it could solve, and then it kept trying to go back and forth. And so I went outside, and the scope was kind of pointing where it generally needed to, but it was kind of the RA axis was kind of tilted, so all the weight was on one side of the mount, or the side of the mount, kind of rotating to the side, and no counterweight. And it could get back up. I was like, well, let me home the thing, and nothing happened. And I went outside, and it's like it couldn't rotate the scope back up. Now I had the camera kind of on the top of the tube, and I put it on the underside, but I ended up putting a counterweight on it, just a 6 pounds counterweight that I had, and since then it's been fine, but I need to see if that's actually necessary. But I imagine that might be part of the problem right now, the breeze combined with the orientation of the scope. So I might stop this right now. It's looking I'm very happy with this. I know I keep saying it. So this is 20 minutes. For my Bortle 9 million skies. Oops. I'm losing I'm sorry. What I probably should do next time is run. Oh. Did the roof close at Starfront? It sure looks like it did. Why? Why did it close at Starfront? Sorry, there is a Discord thing. Doesn't say it's closed on Discord. Their stuff has been, I mean, it didn't help they had a power outage there. Oh, see, look, there's a lot of clouds there. Yeah, they closed. Well, that's a stale one. So they're all closed. I don't know when they closed. But that's okay. So I might as well stop this one. Because it's just going to keep failing. Meanwhile, almost an hour of data, and it's just trucking along. Let me, give me a moment here. Yeah, stack error, too few stars. Maybe because it's looking at the inside of the roof. Let me stop that and real quick. And make sure I'm stopping the right one. Actually, I should be able to stop it here. I forgot. So let me do this and then stop imaging, and hopefully it will actually fail to stop imaging. Okay. That's okay. I'll do it here. All right. So I will... there we go. We'll just stick to this for now. And like I said earlier, I'm going to stop this M27, and I am going to move on to the Supernova. The one that was discovered a few weeks ago in NGC 7331, which is also known as strangely, the Deer Lick group. I don't know why, but that's what it is. Yeah, so 24 minutes, 46 frames, so I will stop this. Let me just double check that. How close am I to the meridian? Oh, I am very close, so I'm going to stop this. First all, and then live stack stop, and let's go to all right, so select. Okay, actually, let me auto and go back to go to and all right. Okay, so let me double check that nothing is bad is happening. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, it's relatively near to the galaxy core, the supernova, and so when I tried to image it with the Seestar, it was kind of challenging because it's not the galaxy isn't huge in the frame, and because it is so close, it was kind of hard to tell. You could tell, but it wasn't great. Okay, failed to activate guiding. Okay, let's stop. Then I'll clear, and okay. I need to turn that off. I don't use this computer for news, and so it's got the default settings, and it's just stuff that I don't want. So I think the moon has risen, so the conditions are not, I mean, it's really hard to tell. I mean, my skies are so bad. On a good day, oh, it hasn't technically risen yet. Cool. So let me go start the guiding, and then go back to start the imaging. Yeah, it's I mean, if you're talking about the where it is relative to the moon, it's the general direction of the moon, but the moon's actually still just below the horizon. Okay, cool. And so we'll bring that. So you can see that. Actually, it's funny. So it's not even stacking yet, and I haven't even applied a stretch yet. But you can already see the that's the that's the supernova, and that's the galaxy core. So let's make that more, let's start stacking it. Oh, good morning, Scrapyard Dog. Welcome. Thanks for joining. All right. Guiding isn't terrible, but yeah, light source or light leak, yeah. There we go. Yeah, it's in the same spot. There we go. Yeah, so this right here is the supernova. Definitely a lot easier to see than with when the Seestar. Mirror problems? Are you saying like something with a collimation or something else? Setting up and tear it down. Yeah. So that is the jury is out on that one. It is by far the heaviest scope I own. It is by far the most unwieldy scope I have. I have a 100mm refractor that I use just for that really cheap one, doublet that I use for solar stuff, and that was my most unwieldy scope. not the heaviest, but unwieldy until I got this. And I almost dropped it a couple of times. I've run into issues because I have the Jouet mount, or the head and a carbon fiber tripod. It's nice and light. The problem is the scope's so much heavier that if a lot of times when I'm sliding it off, it'll start tilting the tripod over because it doesn't have enough mass to stay on the ground. I'd need to work on my technique some more, but what I had been doing is taking it off the mount, bringing in the scope, bringing in the tripod, and then putting the scope back on the tripod. But I have this shelf with some foam where I'd put some of my like the refractor and the solar scope. But anyway, I decided yesterday that I was going to not put the scope back on the tripod when I have it inside. It's going to go on the shelf, because to take the telescope off the tripod the mount twice, and put it on twice every night is just too much. So yeah, it's setting up and tearing down is, we'll see. We'll see. Jury's still out on that, but let's just put it this way, that even if my mount could have handled it, I'm very glad I didn't go with like a 10-inch Newtonian, because I don't know what I would. This one's pretty, and I'm getting good results from it, so I'm happy with it. So, but I am, we'll see how sustainable it is. And the problem is that like the patio door that I take it out of is kind of narrow, and so I kind of have to go sideways through the door, and while not bumping anything or the camera or the scope. And so yeah, it's it'll be interesting to see how sustainable that is, or if it accelerates me, building a pier out in the backyard. So at least I'm just taking the scope in and out. So we'll see. Yeah, I was actually thinking I need to hang something from it, because that's a big problem. It was a problem tonight because I had the telescope was on the shelf, so it was fine. Moved the tripod out, that was fine. Haven't had this issue with any other scope, but with this one, I put it on, and I kind of, it was already dark. I should have put it out earlier, but it was already dark, and I was having a hard time seeing where. Well, and it came with a Vixen plate, and I swapped out with this Lost Mandy plate I had, and so I was kind of trying to get it into the slot, and while I was doing that, the tripod started tilting over. Yeah, your overkill pier. Yeah, I might need something like that, honestly. Yeah, that was a few days ago. Jim Lovell, who was Apollo 13. On Apollo 13, he passed away, but he lived to a ripe old age, I think, right? Yeah, he was 97. So, yeah. And survived. Oh, yeah. See, I don't have anything hanging from the tripod. At one point, I was doing it at one point with the S50 when I had it in an equatorial mount, because I was afraid it was going to tip over, because I had it on a light tripod. And so I ended up hanging away from it. I should do that. And actually, the mount I have, the tripod I have, the scope attached to, has it has a hook underneath, so it would be easy enough to just hang something from there. I need to do that next time. Trying to get the right exposure that doesn't, like, to try to reduce the noise but also bring out some of the extended part of the galaxy, but you can see kind of some of the dust lanes. But yeah, this right here is the supernova. So what I need to do, actually I need to make a note to hang something from the tripod next time. This isn't the sombrero. It's NGC 7331, and because of the supernova. All right. I mean, I'm not sure like imaging this much longer will really do much. Let me bring back the S30, because that's doing well. Doing very well. Yeah, you can really start seeing some of the kind of nebulosity in the area. Wait, what did it say? Yeah, the moon just started rising here. The good news is I'll have if the conditions stay good, I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow, and Saturday, hopefully. And the moon will just be that much more out of the way. Wooden deck. Yeah. 8 foot still with glass top rug, then tripod. Huh. Yeah, mine is, the tripod is sitting on what do you call it? Pavers. Not concrete, but yeah. So it's firmly on the ground. But it's a very light tripod that I have it on, so I should weigh it down. And I should do it with the Newtonian, because that's a little iffy. Oh, nice. That hopefully that'll, I mean, and the good thing is the moon will be just that much out of the way, which will be great. Just yeah, sorry, I'm okay, cool. Could spend 3 hours fixing or focusing. Hopefully it'll go quicker than that. But yeah, so here's a supernova. So let me go figure out something else to image on the Newtonian. Let's see what else is up. Wizard. Since the moon's already risen, I don't want to get too carried away. Yeah, I need to, I actually haven't done the autofocus yet with my EAFs. I've always done it manually. Yeah, I need to stop doing that and start doing it automatically. I know it's got a lot of backlash. I just need to just go ahead and do the autofocus. Yeah, let me check. I need to see if I even can image the interstellar comet. Yeah, 3i Atlas. Let's see. Is it even... that area I call the canyon? It's iffy. I could potentially get it while it's still kind of at the very beginning of astronomical twilight, but it's a little iffy, unfortunately, because I'd have to image it before it goes behind a building. It's not that it's too low, it's just there's a building, as always. Oh. Huh. You know, one thing I haven't really tried with this. Have I tried it? I think I'm going to try a globular cluster. I don't know if I've imaged a globular cluster yet. M33 is still behind a building, but M31 is starting to get above a building. So I might quickly go try M15, and then I might go over to M31. Actually, I could switch this over to M31. I probably should. I mean, this is pretty good. 450 frames, only 2 drop frames. Pretty good. So let me try M31 on the S30, and then I will go try doing a globular. And what I'm gonna do is okay. All right, we're gonna switch targets over here. It's going to go to M31. And then this one, I will go ahead and stop stacking and go to, which one did I say? It's M15. Okay. All right. And I'm starting to image. I did do a, since I'm controlling this S30 through the app, I'm doing a rotation mosaic, or a framing where you kind of rotate it, so it's effectively doing a mosaic, but it's going to be the same size, but yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, it's already have to go with a scope. I mean, a guide scope. I haven't updated the app yet. I need to still do that. I increase the exposure from 1 second to 1.5. We'll see if that helps. I think it's not helping that a lot of these stars have massive coma. Oh wow, nice. Okay, is it stacking? No, it's not stacking. All right. Ah, nice. So just in time, I switched gears. So C11, Caldwell 11, and SH2 157. Like that's the bubble nebula, right? I think. And I don't know why yours. I need to figure out why it's not getting the annotations. There we go. I'm pretty sure I hadn't imaged a globular cluster yet, so it's just 90 seconds so far. Yeah, one of the it's a matter of taste, but the diffraction spikes on the bright stars. There we go. Yeah, I'll, like I was saying, I'll hopefully get some more time over the weekend to kind of clean up some of these bugs so I can kind of get it to the point where I'm comfortable calling it a beta release for people to more people to test out. So yeah, that's still the plan. And then the final, or the production, or the 1.0 release, as it were, will be probably later in the month. I guess it depends on how much I decide, because there's some like features I want to put in, but then also bug fixes and kind of what I consider necessary functionality. But if it doesn't, some of the features I've been pushing out to post final release, because I don't want to hold that up, because I could be adding new features all forever to it, and I have a lot of things I want to add to it, but probably it'll be post 1.0. Yeah, I like diffraction spikes. Yeah. No, it's understandable. It's been kind of interesting, because I mean, I had this with the refractor and stuff. It's like there's definitely a kind of getting up to speed. Not getting up. Oh, there's not a learning curve, but getting things like tweaked. A fiddling stage, a fiddling process. But, and I guess that's why people like the ASI airs, because it gives kind of that simpler experience. But then you have to have like a lot of you can have non-ASI mounts, but you have to have ASI cameras, and some of the other accessories, or not ASI, CWO, and then that kind of so then it's a different trade-off. You end up having to just stick to ZWO cameras and focusers, I'm guessing focusers, and some of those other focusers, rotators, stuff like that. And you know, like when I was first getting this reflector set up, and this happened with the refractor and my Cassegrain, it's always been like, I'll set out the Seestar and it'll just immediately be imaging and getting data, and then I'll spend an hour trying to get everything working with the other scope. But I mean, the results are good, but yeah, it's definitely tries one's patience sometimes. Reset. Yeah, I mean, well, so at the edge, this is definitely coma. But I did, when I first tried it out, there definitely needed some more collimation. I need to recheck the collimation, make sure that, see how much the moving it around affected the collimation I did on it. I didn't get it like perfect, but the out of focus star images in the center of the frame were pretty rough. Like instead of being kind of like a donut, the hole in the donut was way off center. And so even when it was in focus, the stars near the center looked pretty bad. I would expect the stars to kind of look like this at the edge and like at this edge. But near the center, they seem better, pretty reasonably round. That said, a coma corrector is definitely high on my list of things to get next. Very high. And I thought about getting the coma corrector reducer, but I'll probably just get a plain coma corrector first. Right. Yeah, if you use a DSLR, you can use an ASI Air, but yeah. Epsilon Lyra double. Let me check. Let me check where that is. Double cluster in Perseus. Okay. It is above the horizon. The only thing is, I figured it might... The field of view might be too small for this. But let me check. Yeah, well, it depends on what the rotation of the camera is. So we'll try it out. It's NGC 869. And the coma is particularly noticeable when you're zoomed in, but when it's backed out a bit, it's not as bad. And running it through like sharp cap seems to reduce it a bit. Not sharp cap. Why did I say sharp cap? Through SETI Astro Suite. Okay, so let's stop this and go to NGC 86, I think it was 869. Yeah, one thing that's kind of quirky is you have to go 0869. Okay. Oh, the double's near the Ring Nebula. Well, let me try this double cluster. And let me look. I'm just checking it as it's moving, the scope. Oh, I just realized something. Let me... Okay. I don't know why it does the banding. The other night I thought it was because of clouds, but now I'm wondering if it's just my bad light pollution makes it hard to do that kind of mosaic. I don't know. Okay, so that is... All right, so we are... So then the question is, depending on what the rotation of the camera is, will determine if we can actually get both in one shot. So... So that's 869, and the other one is... What is the other one? 884. I should do is switch to a shorter exposure. Oof. Sorry about that. Too bright. Okay. So let me go back over here. So the other was yeah, see the problem is if the camera were rotated 90 degrees, I could probably just get both of them in. But since it's not, I can't get both in one shot. Oops. This is where having the what do you call it? This is where having the reducer would be handy, because it would just give a wider field. And actually having a rotator, camera rotator would be handy too. Might even go in the right direction. Let me see. Nope, I went the wrong direction. Nope, I'm forgetting which way I went. Nope. Slow this down a bit. Maybe not that slow. Alright. Yeah, so here's one of the double cluster and there's the other one. So unfortunately I can almost get them in the field of view, but only partially. Okay. And okay, and start live stacking and alright. That's the stretch is set incorrectly. And I should have waited for the image to show up before doing that. Yeah. So let me try the double. Yeah, double should be no sweat. Let me look for that. Okay, Epsilon Lyrae, double. Okay, there is let's see, it's 91919. That makes it, oh hey, there you go. Oh, nope. No. It's pointing at a building. I should have checked that. Something to try tomorrow, because it just went behind a building. It's actually really close to Vega, or pretty close to Vega. Yeah, so yeah, unfortunately that is, yeah. So what so let me write that down for tomorrow. Double HIP 91919. That makes it easy. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow or Saturday. If it's not clear tomorrow, I'll do it Saturday, but yeah. I mean, there is like varying ambient light depending on which direction it's pointing, so it still could be a light leak, but I'll test it out tomorrow. So let's go. Andromeda is up, but I'm doing that with the S30. And what would be something possibly? Okay, this is going to be a total, like, it could be a very underwhelming thing, but I'm check flocking. Yeah, I definitely. Yeah, unfortunately, I need to figure out something with Discord. I'm not sure if this is going to be. Oops, what did I do? No, I don't need a quick capture. I'm going to try the Heart of the Heart Nebula, and I think that might be my last target for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow, if I do lives, if it's clear here, hopefully, well, I don't know if it was, hopefully I'll have some clear skies at Starfront, because it looks like, But if it's clear here or Starfront, I'll do another live stream. Okay, just... Meanwhile, yeah, I don't know about this banding. I need to figure out if there's... This happened to me recently when I was trying to do something with the S30, one of these kind of reframing it. I need to see if there's something I can do to fix that. So the scope had to re-meridian flip. It's almost there. We'll see if this even works, because it's going to be really low. Oh, we got stars. The one good thing, the best thing, well, there's a few things I like about this. Plate solving has been pretty good. That's weird. Yeah, so I... Just waiting for the plate solve. Okay. Okay, I was only off by a fraction of a degree. Cool. So again, like I say, this might end up being a bit of a bust, but I mean, the moon is up now. Might be a bit of a pain. Oh. Yeah, I need to figure something else out. There, what cosmic ray's referring to, there's this night sky network, which is it's a site where people can stream. It's got voice chat. It's not. It's nice. I've been on there a few times, but I need to. Is it? Oh, it would help if I was guiding. I need to turn that off. That's so annoying. Hopefully it'll be able to guide. What might not help is it's pointing more towards where the moon has risen. And, well, not exactly, but it's pretty low, more light pollution. like I say, this is an experiment. I don't even know if it's going to work, especially given the conditions, how low it is. Yeah, and see the things back here. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check that out tomorrow. I mean, a lot of it could get, a lot of it cleans up in software when processing it, but I'd rather minimize the amount of artifacts I have, so I need to, and plus it's just decreasing quality, so I need to, yeah, because like this right here, that's bad. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. It's I mean, if anybody knows why Discord, yeah, good night, Cosmic Ray. If anybody knows why Discord has these issues where when you're trying to share video using the app, it'll just disconnect. And there's other weird things too, where like the first time you share the video, no one else can see it sometimes. And so you have to stop streaming or stop sharing and then reshare, and then people can see it. It's very strange. Yeah, this is looking kind of a little rough. I'll let it get a few more frames and we'll see. Maybe I'll point it at something else to finish the night. And again, that banding. I mean, I like that I have the wider field because I reframed it using the app, which then basically does a mosaic, but keeping within the same kind of bounds. But this banding, man, that is just crazy. Let me look at the scope and see what could be based on where the camera is. Huh. The other, let me see what. Just looking at different targets I might want to try to wrap up the evening. Oh. Maybe I'll give this a go. I'm going to try NGC 281, the Pac-Man Nebula. I don't know if I've tried this yet. I might have. Again, this is only the fourth time I've used this telescope, so. And it's the first Newtonian I've had in 40 years. Yeah, so. Time flies, must be having fun. Okay, cool. So let's try this. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Discord. Like sometimes it works just fine, but then, I mean, especially I know a lot of people based on personal experience with other people on the channel, have issues with the streaming. I've run into it just being seemingly flaky. Now, one thing, so I'm using the SV240 filter, which is a dual narrowband filter plus IR, not AI, IR, infrared pass-through, band pass. I mean, it lets IR through. And the good thing is, if you have a camera that's sensitive to IR, near IR, it's not as what do you call it? Not as subject to light pollution as visible light. But so that's what I'm using, and it allows me to image some things that are more broadband targets a bit better than a pure narrowband. That said, I do have in my possession an SV260, which is the multi-band filter, and it's got wider band passes. Now, it's supposed to help with light pollution and also kind of be better maybe for broadband targets. So maybe next time, if I'm doing this tomorrow, maybe I'll use that filter and see how some of these targets look. Like, I want to try it on M20 again, the Trifid Nebula, to see if maybe the blue nebulosity comes out more. But also several of these other targets, like globular clusters, see how it does with the light pollution. And at some point, if I may do a more thorough comparison, but at the very least, I'd like to give it a try. That might be tomorrow. Okay, but first, I got to get to the bottom of this thing here. This light. Now, one thing I wonder. So SharpCap has some interesting features. And so I just turned on non-linear gradient removal just to see. No, we'll wait for some more frames to come in. Because sometimes some of these settings end up kind of messing up things. Yeah, I think the I need to solve this issue, and then I need to I'll do that during the day, and then I'll figure out yeah, and then I'll try the other filter tomorrow, and I'm gonna try to do it the live stream earlier if it's clear here tomorrow. It gets dark at like 8 now, or the sun sets at 8, so I could theoretically start the live stream at 9, but I wanted to give myself padding because this is only the 4th time I've used it. I want to make sure I had it polar aligned, anything else kind of tweaked and ready to go. But I probably could start earlier tomorrow if it's clear, and I'm gonna hopefully have the light leak solved, and then use the SV260. Sombrero, no. Plus, I don't think if the sombrero is visible, it's not visible to me because it's behind a building. It was only very briefly visible to me, unfortunately, from here. just try the linear. So I switched to the linear gradient removal. And that's another thing I need to play around with more. I think next time I shoot M31, I'm not going to do the the reframing, because all the banding is going to be difficult to remove if I can, even without spending a ton of time on it. I get impatient, and sometimes the first few frames when I try to stretch it, it ends up just a mess. So I should wait for a little bit more. Let me see, how low is this right now? It's like only 38 degrees above the horizon, so I should try to aim for things being higher in the sky, because of light pollution. And where's the moon now? Yeah. Yeah, you can start on the all sky. You can start seeing down here it's bright. That's and unfortunately that's kind of the direction I'm pointed, both for Andromeda and Pac-Man, and so it's that's where the moon is. It's still behind a building, but you can see the glow there. Yeah, that's, and this is bad. I have a feeling I definitely want to revisit this tomorrow with the 260 filter, because I'm curious to see what difference it's almost up to 4 minutes. But yeah, I think it's 12:30 here, and I have to get up in the morning, and I have to drag this scope in. That's the other downside of it. It's heavy and awkward. It's not that heavy. It's just awkward, and I can't stay up too late, and then I'd be too tired to bring it in. So I need to bring it in while I'm still still in okay shape. Plus the moon's up now. Good thing is tomorrow night, it's if it's clear, the moon will be rising that much later, and it'll be Friday night, so I can I don't have a meeting in the morning. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah. And I need to do this tomorrow too. I should point the S30 at the Pac-Man as well while I'm trying to image it on the Newtonian. So that'll be also an interesting comparison. Let me make note of that so I don't forget. Because I think that could be a good test. But I absolutely positively have to come to the get to the bottom of this light issue. I don't think I have any duct tape, but I do have I do have black gaffer tape, so I'll probably use that once I get to the bottom of what's causing this, or which part is causing it. I also need to look at the off-axis guider and make sure that the prism's in a good shape, good position. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me double check tomorrow for the weather prognosis for tomorrow. Tomorrow is potentially iffy at Starfront, but it might be okay. In which case I'll have the S50 going again. Hopefully the roof won't close like it did tonight. And it's looking about as positive tomorrow night here as it was tonight. So if that holds, then it should be good to go. There's clouds midday, but they're supposed to go through, and Saturday is also looking maybe even better Saturday night, but we'll see. But hopefully at least Friday, hopefully at least tomorrow night will be clear, in which case I'll do a live stream again, and with a different filter, and the S30 again. Yeah, let me we'll talk about that. But in the meantime, if you like the video, if you haven't already, and like, subscribe, set the notification so for tomorrow's live stream or whenever I live stream, you'll hopefully get notified by YouTube. Thanks to Cosmic Ray for sharing his scope, even though in spite of technical difficulties. Thanks, definitely very thanks so much to AstroChris for the super chats. I do appreciate it a lot, because it does help. Does help in many ways. But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, and yeah, before I ramble on anymore, thanks for joining, and hope you have a good rest of your evening. Good night.